SaintSin, also known as Domina or Goddess Siren. I am in El Paso, Texas. I am a professional dominatrix, sensual sadistic femdom, content creator, and cam model, as well as kink educator. And I am talking exclusively to the buzz at Female Fetish Federation. Oh man, that's a long journey. I started off in the kink fetish BDSM world right at 18. And I started training with a dom at a dungeon in Denver, Colorado, for about 3 years, being trained as a submissive. I then went into being a pro dominatrix for a little while. I was a stripper in the clubs and also an artist outside of that. I was a performance artist and actress for stage, and a professional dancer for a while. I did the professional doming for about 2 years, and then I decided that it wasn't quite right for me. I felt I was probably too young to really understand the nuances that the submissives really needed of me in the professional capacity. So I focused on being in the lifestyle, learning, attending many events around the country as much as I could, being locally involved as well as within my own lifestyle. I then became a cam model and went that route for a while. I still do that here and there. And then I went into content creation, and it had been requested of me to start doing more doming stuff because they saw that natural propensity inside of me. And about a year ago, I decided to start doing my domination again with a lot more knowledge over 23 years to be able to focus on providing great mental play as well as safe impact play for the submissives who desire that in my area. And here I am today, hopefully educating on more kink for those who want to go into the lifestyle, especially those who want to go into a more professional capacity. How do you do this? How do you do it safe? Guiding subs as they need to within training, protocol, safety within SSC, prick and rack, and all of that good stuff. So that's the short, long story of how I got to where I'm at today. Ooh, are we talking online or in person? Because those are very different cultures. I want to say, I think there's a lot of misinformation going on within the culture today. We've allowed it to be very open and to everybody, and it's become kind of a trendy thing for people to explore, which is a great thing. And I think everybody should be able to explore their kinks, fetishes within the BDSM lifestyle as they wish. But I do believe there's a lot of misinformation out there, and a lot of people who don't want to listen to how things are. They want to make it something safe and comfortable, and I think we don't have enough people out there talking enough about how the lifestyle and how BDSM play can really be. So the culture is kind of hard to explain. Mostly what I see is just a lot of misinformation, not enough study on it. There's a lot of talk about impact play and physical safety, but not enough about the psychology of it and the dark parts of us that we need to explore within this. The mindset mostly for my submissives is that they're needing a guiding hand for them to feel safe within their exploration of their kinks and fetishes. A lot of them feel a little embarrassed about it. They can't talk with their friends about it because most of them are male and cisgendered, and they can't talk with their friends intimately about these things. So they have a sort of shame coming into when contacting me, afraid of rejection as well. And I try to make sure that I'm a sanctuary for them, that they understand that I'm not going to judge them based on their fetishes, even if it's not my kink or fetish, and it may be on my hard limit list, but I'm not going to judge them for that. But mostly I find that they're very shy, and they don't quite know where to go and how to do this. They've seen the pornography of it. They've seen the performative aspects of it, like of course dominatrixes and latex and vinyl and the thigh-high boots and the whips and everything else like that, and that's what draws them in. But when it comes to the nitty-gritty of getting down and dirty into the mental aspects of it, I don't think most of them are quite ready to go there yet. Honestly, I think what makes me uncomfortable is the fact that we can't have a more open dialogue about things that are taboo, things that may be socially unacceptable, things that in general, all of us, like with my subs, like most people have a very hard time talking about the very vulnerabilities that make us tick and either physically turn us on, mentally turn us on, or things that we find fascinating and want to explore. That makes me uncomfortable, because we are all about communication, and we preach communication, and yet we aren't talking about that as a whole within our community, from newbies online to advanced, experienced, tops and bottoms within the scene physically. Ooh, I'm gonna say there's a whole lot to unpackage there. I want to say that a lot of it has come from the popularity of, and I don't want to say it's only 50 Shades of Grey, but the popularity of that, and making things like that a little bit more mainstream, and the conversation around books that are fantasies and movies that are fantasies, like The Secretary or Story of O and stuff like that, have made it seem to be so accessible to everybody, but not everybody is used to how dark, I think that's the best word I could use, how dark exploration can be into our psyche when it comes to this kind of play. And what's made it want to be a little bit more PC is that we're taking societal norms and how we should be in society and taking that into kink and fetish, where we are exploring those taboos. This world is about taking everything that is a societal no-no and exploring it. That's what we've always done. You would never just go off and condone hitting somebody with a riding crop simply because it turns you on. No, we don't do that, but we do it among consenting adults, where we have a conversation about it and the safety protocols and all of that. I think it's too much where people don't understand the psychology and don't take time to learn, because taking time to learn means taking time to understand. And we want a quick fix. We want to explore it right away. We want to get turned on right away. We're in such a rapid society that we have to do everything so quick that we don't want to take the time to learn. And learning takes a long time in this field, and or lifestyle. And it's just too much of everybody welcoming everybody, and it's to our own demise. We want to be open to everybody, but we talk about gatekeeping, and you shouldn't be a gatekeeper, but sometimes that's a little necessary, so we don't have a watered down version of what we are. Everybody should be able to explore their kinks safely, even if we don't particularly agree with what they're exploring. And we tend to forget, as DOMs especially, we're tending to forget that we are the ones who are here to help submissives explore this, and we're PCing it too much. And I think it's just too much uneducation and not willing to learn enough about it. Right now, it's social media. There are so many resources out there from the medical industry on how kink and fetish can help you in life. There's articles and books and blog posts, so much out there online for us to be educated. I think what we need to do is be using our social media platforms and saying not just what I think, but this is where I got this information. Start referring people to where the sources are. Instead of just being the expert in our field, show them, I learned it from this expert. This is a psychologist who has studied this. This is a sex therapist who has studied this. This is the people who have been in this lifestyle for so long, who've educated and stuff like that. We need to be using our platforms to spread awareness in a more professional capacity, not just what I think, but here are studies done so you can understand that. We need to be adamant about that. That also, even though I know a lot, I'm still learning, and I'm learning all the time because new information comes out all the time. New studies are done, new peer-reviewed theses are done. Somebody has a new idea or a new thought process of how this could be done and enacted and why somebody would do this. We need to really be using our platforms, in a nutshell, using our platforms to link to the sources professionally that give us this information for safe play. I think I've learned that there are parts of me that I never really was open to wanting to explore. And now that I have, I've had to become comfortable with knowing that there are some dark parts of me that it's surprising. One of my biggest things, especially as being a dominatrix, is that I'm very sadistic. I'm not a person who can watch fight videos or watch gory movies or things like that. It makes me really, really uncomfortable. I can't watch that stuff. It's very triggering for me. But I love giving pain. I love impact play. I love caning and palaka, and I just want pain. I want to give that to you, but I want to do it in such a way that I know it's helping you. And coming to terms with that in myself, like, why do I want to hurt somebody so bad, was probably one of the most uncomfortable things for me to come to terms with. And it also came to that BDSM for me particularly is not sexual, that it is strictly a mental thing for me. It fascinates me. It intrigues me. It makes me want to do it more. It gives me tingles in a way that's very different from my sexual lifestyle and my partnership, and how I explore BDSM within that private capacity that's not up for anybody else publicly to know. And that I had to be comfortable, like, no, it doesn't have to be sexual. And that was my biggest learning thing, was those two things, is being comfortable being sadistic and dark, and knowing that this has a fascination for me outside of physical pleasure. I want to be remembered for being somebody who's supportive, a sanctuary, educated, very, I'm going to tell it as it is, but in a way that you understand and connect. I want to be known as somebody who loves this lifestyle, who loves being a professional dominatrix, who loves what I do. And hopefully that is contagious enough to others to feel comfortable enough to explore that with themselves, but also to be emphatically forever a student of the art.